top stories, Prime Minister Abiy meets and confers with Algerian Foreign Minister. And West Africa's regional bloc ECOWAS has announced an exit timeline for 3 member states. Hello and welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, with the latest news of the hour. I'm Tabitha John. To stay with us, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed hosted a significant meeting today at his office with the Algerian Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf. Talking to his social media platform, PM Abiy shared that he had received a message from President Abdelmadjid Tebboune through Minister Attaf. He stated, quote-unquote, "I had the pleasure of welcoming Ahmed Attaf, the Foreign Minister of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, to my office this morning. As a special envoy, he delivered a message on behalf of President Abdelmadjid Tebboune." During their deliberations, the Prime Minister and the Algerian Foreign Minister focused on fortifying the long-standing bonds between Ethiopia and Algeria. It is noteworthy that Algerian Foreign Minister Ahmed Attaf commenced an official working visit to Addis Ababa on the 15th of December. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs launched a comprehensive capacity building training program aimed at enhancing Ethiopia's conference tourism sector. The training, being held at the Africa Leadership Excellence Academy, AFLEX, is part of Ethiopia's preparation for hosting the 38th African Union AU Summit of Heads of State and Government on February 15th to 16th, 2025, and the 46th AU Executive Council meeting on February 12th to 13th, 2025. Ethiopia, as the diplomatic capital of Africa and the seat of the African Union, plays a pivotal role in hosting major continental events. The annual AU meeting brings thousands of delegates, including heads of state, diplomats, and international stakeholders, further solidifying Addis Ababa's position as a hub for global diplomacy. Ambassador Birtukan Ayano, State Minister of Foreign Affairs, emphasized the importance of integrating urban development with conference tourism to boost Ethiopia's diplomatic and economic standing. Welcome back. In a riveting showdown last Friday, the spotlight shone on 3 formidable contenders vying for the prestigious African Union chairmanship as they engaged in a high-stakes debate centered around the Transformative Agenda 2063. This visionary roadmap seeks to forge a prosperous, cohesive, and harmonious Africa of tomorrow, with each candidate articulating their distinct strategies for realizing this bold vision. The discussion delved deep into pivotal themes including peace, unity, and human development. Stay tuned as Johannes van Tahun unpacks the highlights in the following comprehensive report.
In the intense competition for leadership of the African Union, 3 formidable candidates have unveiled ambitious strategies aimed at realizing the transformative vision of Agenda 2063. This visionary agenda seeks to propel Africa into a prominent global position by the year 2063. Each candidate has articulated distinct priorities focused on addressing the continent's most pressing challenges, ranging from conflict resolution to economic advancement and human capital development. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, who currently serves as Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs, has placed a paramount emphasis on peace and security as a bedrock of progress, advocating for enhanced cooperation among member nations to preempt and manage conflict effectively. Yusuf has pledged to marshal resources towards bolstering peacekeeping initiatives.
Comprendre que nous vivons dans un monde qui est en train de se multipolariser.
With the relevant bodies, I am going to continue or to carry out the reforms which have not been implemented today. And I'm going to diversify our financing. And I will do my best to make sure that African Union has its own financing sources. And I'm also going to boost intra-African trade, which should go beyond 80%. And I will bring down all the non-tariff barriers and facilitate the free movement of goods and persons across the continent. The place of Africa on the international stage will be one of my greatest priorities. And I'm going to be the voice of the African people across the world.
Meanwhile, Raila Odinga, the esteemed former Prime Minister of Kenya, has presented a comprehensive vision centered on unity and governance reform, accentuating the imperative of African solidarity in overcoming historic disparities and governance intricacies. Odinga has called for the cultivation of a shared vision to bridge divides and foster sustainable development.
And I believe that I have what it takes to get us where we want to do. In the field of education, in the field of health, in the field of value addition to the abundant wealth that we have on the continent, in the field of trade, inter-African trade. I have acted as the African Union High Representative on infrastructure. And in this I know that we have very comprehensive programs in PIDA, Program for Infrastructure Development of the continent. What remains is action. And what I want to promise the African people is that I am going to lead from the front to ensure that we achieve the visions of the founding fathers of our continent.
On the other hand, Richard Randriamandrato of Madagascar has directed the spotlight towards Africa's human capital and economic potentials. He has underscored the critical importance of investing in education, particularly targeting the empowerment of youth and women as catalyst for Africa's prosperity. Additionally, has championed the adoption of technological innovations in agriculture to drive economic growth and enhance food security.
When exactly do we talk about non-interference, non-indifference, and how do we use them to silence the guns? But that is the situation in which we find ourselves in. And if I am chosen by the heads of state and government as chairperson of the commission, I will make sure that the African Union Commission would actually work towards resolving our conflicts peacefully, because we have that in the Constitutive Act of Africa, of the African Union.
While their approaches diverge in focus, the candidates share a mutual recognition that attaining the objectives of Agenda 2063 necessitates collaborative effort, prudent resource management, and unified actions throughout the continent. As the spirited race for the Africa Union chair unfolds, the outcome carry profound implications for the trajectory of Africa's future.
In a groundbreaking revelation, Berhanu Waldemikhail, the senior advisor at the Food Security Coordination Office of the Ministry of Agriculture, unveiled the remarkable impact of the Productive Safety Net program on rural communities. According to Berhanu, this intervention is revolutionizing the lives of its intended recipients, bringing about positive transformations in their well-being. Furthermore, Berhanu emphasized that the program is playing a pivotal role in empowering mothers to make strategic investments in their children's education and the overall welfare of their households within rural regions. For an in-depth look at this transformative initiative, tune in to Shagao Yamatau's comprehensive coverage.
The Ethiopian government introduced the Productive Safety Net program in 2005 as a more effective strategy for assisting vulnerable populations, implemented through a structured process involving task forces at regional, zonal, and community levels. The program employs specific guidelines to identify the most destitute individuals within society. These efforts include continual updates to ensure accurate registration of beneficiaries. In an exclusive interview with EVC World, Birhanu Waldemikael, Senior Advisor at the Food Security Coordination Office of the Ministry of Agriculture, highlighted that the PSNP utilizes geographically and socially targeted approach. This method aims to equitably distribute support among communities susceptible to drought, thereby enhancing their quality of life.
The Productive Safety Net program uses the geographic targeting and community targeting approach to reach to the extreme poor and vulnerable households in the rural areas. For that purpose, the program put in place a system to reach to the targeting exercise. When we are saying about geographic targeting, we are trying to identify drought-prone areas in the regions, and once we are identified the drought-prone areas, in that area we are trying to target the extreme poor and vulnerable households. We are not trying to address the whole entire population of on that area. There are a better of households, but from those there are the poorest of poor. So for that purpose we are using of community targeting to identify those households who are the poor of poor in that communities.
Birhanu emphasized that the PSNP serves multiple objectives such as creating asset ownership, safeguarding against asset depletion, and uplifting the living standards of its designated recipients. He noted that this intervention is actively reshaping the lives of beneficiaries residing in rural areas.
For example, in 2000, the poverty rate in percentage was 55% in this area, but by 2020, that percentage goes down to the level of 25% by reducing by 30%. This shows us that the livelihood of the program class have improved through all this intervention, and we are measuring of our achievement of the target set for objective in this way, and we are in a better off in making of changing of the life of the peoples.
Moreover, the senior advisor stressed the program's crucial role in enabling mothers to invest in their children's education and the overall development of their households.
The Productive Safety Net programs enables mothers to invest at the household level, to invest for their children's education. But it's not only for the mothers, it's also for the entire households, the program. And culturally, when I'm looking of the rural communities, they use what they earn from doing of different activities, investment at the household level, which this investment will also use to invest on their children to send to the schools. And through the Safety Net program, we have constructed different types of social infrastructures. One of the social infrastructure constructed is the primary schools. This primary schools is constructed in their vicinity, in the walking distance. Because of that, the school rollout enrollment has increased, and school dropout of children have also reduced. This benefits the mother as well as the households in general.
Despite challenges posed by factors like inflation, drought, and financial constraints, Birhanu assured that the Ministry of Agriculture is diligently collaborating with various stakeholders to overcome these obstacles.
And finally, West Africa's regional bloc ECOWAS has announced an exit timeline for 3 member states hit by coups, capping nearly a year of mediation to avert a major regional split. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu and ECOWAS Commission President Omar Toure highlight challenges and efforts in addressing the crisis. Goshu Meliso has more from Africa News.
The West Africa's regional organization ECOWAS has set an exit timeline for 3 nations affected by coups following nearly a year of mediation efforts aimed at preventing a significant fracture within the bloc. Nigeria's president and chairman of ECOWAS emphasized that the global challenge stays the collaborative spirit.
Despite the challenges of interrupted democratic governance in some West African countries, the region has continued to record democratic gains.
Although he termed the exit of the three countries from ECOWAS as disheartening, Omar Troy, the president of ECOWAS Commission, lauded the dedication of the bloc's envoy in their effort to address the ongoing crisis.
Excellencies, while the impending exit of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger from ECOWAS is disheartening, we commend the ongoing mediation efforts led by their Excellencies President Faure Gnassingbé of Togo and President Bassirou Diomaye Faye of Senegal. These efforts underscore your collective commitment to preserving peace and unity in our region.
ECOWAS membership provides visa-free travel among member states, but it is unclear how the departure of the three nations will impact these advantages.
You're watching ABC World, a reminder of the top stories. Prime Minister Abiy meets and confers with Algerian Foreign Minister. And West Africa's regional bloc, ECOWAS, has announced an exit timeline for 3 member states. That's all we had for now. I'm Tabitha Johnmany. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.